So kind of talking about the network redundancy, I talked a bit about being able to connect directly to the edge and why it's important for us to have data persistence on the edge. But I know Starlink was a big effort on our side. Can you speak a bit to what's kind of going down on the Starlink side of the world?
Yeah, absolutely. I know we have other YouTube clips on the Cold War channel that talk about our Dish in a Box project. But when Starlink first started launching their low Earth orbit satellites, it was super exciting. At the time we were looking at getting HughesNet licenses, and to do a satellite dish install on a frac pad, you actually needed an FCC license, if I'm not mistaken, to actually turn that on. And that's to be certified through HughesNet to set up one of their sats, which is like one of the largest satellite providers in the United States. That's why we didn't do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So what we had done was we had multiple SIM cards, super fancy gateway boxes, a whole bucket of different antennas we could bust out to actually get cellular, because the places that our operators are fracking is, of course, not known for its wideband coverage, I guess.
Yeah.
So low Earth orbit Starlink satellites started popping up in the sky, and we got a couple to try out. And of course, these are fantastic dishes for a home. You pound it onto a fence post, you're rocking. But when you tear it down and transport it from pad to pad every couple of days, every month, every couple of months, and it's operating in like the grossest environment or conditions possible, where there's like one site I showed up to do an inspection and the whole site was just covered in stuff. Like it was just I would like to say grease or mud or something had happened that covered it in black goo. Mm-hmm. So having that on top of a Starlink dish or on top of a satellite receiver is probably not the best for signal. And also there's motors inside that pivoted and adjusted so you could get the best signal at any given time. Of course, we looked at this and we said, well, this is a great commercial or residential application or residential device, but it's not an industrial device. So we did some modifications. Mm-hmm. And not only did we remove some of the weaknesses, for example, the motor, we just cut that right out. But we also brought it up to our IT security standards. Thank you. Not only did we fix some of the hardware problems, like we cut out the motors so it didn't try to point, etc., but we also brought it up to our IT security standards, so not just anybody could walk by, see an SSID broadcast. We changed it so it's on our own VPNs and our own IP addresses, etc. But we also have a auto-failover cellular redundancy against the Starlink satellites. So there were a couple of outages where Starlink was out for, I don't know, a minute, an hour, 10 minutes, something in that zone. Everybody on site is excited, but the Cold War personnel never saw a drop in our internet. Actually, it was so little of a deal to us. The next morning, we forgot to bring it up in our morning meeting. It was just, yeah, business as usual. We're good to go. So that's the whole point of node redundancy. Like if we have a global Starlink outage or for a minute or 5 minutes and you're trying to call a frac, it's not like we can call Starlink and say, when are your satellites coming back up? We're relatively small fish compared to that. So we just need to plan around the eventual outages that are going to happen.
Yeah, it's an exciting time at Cold War when that happened, and knowing that our system did fail over correctly and we didn't have any outages. It's great just battle testing, right? And I think that highlights, really importantly, why network redundancy is important, why these security things, protocols are important, that we protect the network on site, having SSO and be able to track who has access to the data. These are all like really important pieces of an ROC that you don't think about when I want to call a frac remotely. Let's put a Raspberry Pi there and connect it. It's like, okay, that might work. Yeah, that might work for 5 minutes, but it's not a holistic system that's going to work for, especially, some of the largest operators in the world with some of the most critical oil and gas infrastructure in the world, right? Like we need to have, strong systems that are robust and have proper security around them.
Data in hand. We rock the bytes, and we'll take a stand. Calculators flashing like a disco ball. Cold board tech, hey, we answer the call.